So welcome guys to another video, and today we have a really exciting IEM. This is the most requested IEM here in this channel, and this is the ZEX Pro, or actually the newly renamed CRN. So this seems to be a collaboration between Clinical and also KZ. So that is the first for KZ here. And yeah, I did check out the ZEX before, so I did find the mids to be not to my liking. So we are gonna find out if this beats out the ZEX and also the NRA as well, because I do like the NRA over the ZEX here in this channel. So looking at the box itself, it's your typical KZ box here. So you're getting 3.5mm jack, 0.75mm 2-pin connector, 20 to 40 kHz in frequency range as well. And also for this one, you're getting a tri-brid configuration. You're getting electrostat, balance armature, and also dynamic driver as well. It's actually first in this price range that has, that kind of configuration. So that's really interesting. Actually, from what I've seen from the marketing materials of this, the design here is your typical KZ. But it does have some fins, so it reminds me of maybe the CSNs in the design. And actually for me, that is my favorite design, KZ under $20. And this is going to be your unboxing experience. Of course, in the box, you're getting your typical KZ box here. And actually, I'm not sure if they're going to change the box here, because they do have a new name for this IEM already. So you're getting ZX Pro. And actually, I got the matte black version, so that is definitely to my liking. Actually, the ZEX that I have also looks good. It's more of a gold design, but I do like, matte black colors in general. Of course, you're getting additional ear tips, your typical silicone ear tips. So you're not getting Starline tips anymore. And in terms of the cable, you're getting your maybe SSR-ish, Moondrop-ish kind of cable. So this is the new KZ cable. So this will be less tangly. So actually have used this. It's going to be less tangly in your bag. But I think, of course, for enthusiasts, we will still upgrade to maybe an 8-core cable in this one. But yeah, in terms of the usability of this, it is actually nice. I would actually keep this and get another cable. So if you need maybe a less tangly cable, you can still use this. So let's check out what you are getting in the lobes. So as you guys can see, you're getting that KZ logo at the side. So actually, frankly speaking, KZ has been killing it in the looks in 2021. So that's definitely interesting here. So you're getting that KZ design at the side. And you're actually getting that bulges as well. You're getting that fins as well, and then this bulge here as well. So I'm expecting this will be similar in terms of the fit with the CSNs, and that's definitely one of the best fitting IEMs on my ear. And nice to see this as well in your KZs. So I was actually expecting to see more of that kind of design with KZs, because yeah, for the price that you're paying for, getting that kind of design is definitely really interesting. So big plus on these for the design of the lobes, and I do think it's really looks cool for me. So you're getting that metal faceplate at the side, and you're also getting that resin plastic, and the resin plastic is see-through, but the build quality here really good. Alright, so we are now wearing it on the ear, and the fit is really good here. So much like the CSNs, the fit is perfect on my ear. So stability really great here because of that fins. It will stay on your ear nicely. So for some live monitoring, even if you move around on stage, this won't fall off your ear. And also because of that ear hooks, it will stay on your ear nicely. Going to isolation, this does isolate quite well as well. So one of the better ones in that price range, I'd say. Again, for some live monitoring, this will be nice as well. And going to comfort, this is not the most comfortable pair that I've worn because of that fins. Actually, it's quite snug to the ear. You can definitely feel it on the ear. So I do think you need to maybe adjust this from time to time. Maybe after 2 hours, you need to adjust this. This is not the most comfortable pair. Alright, next let's go to the sound quality. And as you guys can see from the title of this video, so I do like the overall sound in the ZEX Pro. I think it's the best KZ that I have heard so far in the $30 range, especially if you're into a hybrid kind of sound. And it's my favorite KZ, especially for a hybrid in the $30 range. So I can definitely see the collaboration of Clinical here in this IEM. It's kind of like an IEM again that's made for me. But of course, even so, we're gonna discuss the sound quality later. It's not without its cons, but still in the overall sound, I do like what you are getting with the CRNs. So in terms of the overall sound, this still has a lot of KZ qualities. But actually, the tuning here is a bit different compared to your usual KZs. So it's still a musical type of listen, fairly clean in presentation, and also a fairly balanced U type of shape to the ear. Actually, maybe the tuning reminds me a lot of the VK4. We're gonna check out the tuning later. And also, it has still a 12K in the mix here compared to your other KZs, but the 12K here is more toned down in the mix. So actually on the ear, so this is maybe a bit smoother, a bit more relaxed compared to your other KZs. So this is still a monitor type of sound for me. It still has your tightness and also the revealing nature of a monitor type of sound, but that is now a bit more toned down in the mix. So this has a bit more smoother top compared to what you're getting with your other KZ type of IEMs here. So going to the bass, this is in the tight side of presentation, so one of the most toned down basses that I've heard for a KZ. So reminds me a lot of maybe a 10 audio bass here in the mix, and that is definitely a first for me from a KZ. But still, this is a bit more impactful compared to your 10 audios. This still has a bit more maybe musicality in the overall sound, a bit more impactfulness to the overall sound. So this still has maybe that fun nature that you are getting with your other KZs. But now compared to your usual KZs, this is a bit more toned down in the mix. Not for bass heads though, so this is not a bassy type of pair. So the bass here is well controlled in the mix, and what I like about this is there's no mid-bass bleed here. So maybe compared to your other KZs, so the definition for me in the bass here is a bit more refined, a bit faster as well in the overall presentation. So technically it's a bit better compared to your usual KZs. So going to the mids, the mids is clean in presentation, also nice separation as well. So because of that clean presentation, so the separation is quite nice here. The vocal presentation is clear, very energetic, and also quite revealing as well in the overall presentation. So more of a monitor type of presentation here, and also a bit more micro detail here because you're getting that BA and also electrostat presentation. And maybe because of that electrostat as well, it has a bit more liveliness to the overall sound. For some live monitoring, this will be nice. Maybe for some podcast monitoring as well, this will be nice as well because it's quite revealing in the mix. It will push through the mix nicely. So you're getting still that maybe KZ, type of clarity in the vocals, which is nice here. But maybe compared to your other KZs, the vocals here is a bit more smooth in the overall presentation. And also less hot to listen to as well, a bit more kind to the ear compared to your other KZs, and that's definitely nice on the ear. This is less aggressive to listen to compared to your other KZs, and that entails maybe less fatiguing of a listen to the ear here compared to your usual KZ. So that's definitely an advantage. Of course, some cons here, this is still a U type of shape to the ear, so the vocals is still quite recessed in the mix here, maybe around 3 dB recessed than what I would like. It's still clear and pushes through the mix, but this is not the best positioned vocals that I've listened to. Also that cleanliness in the vocals, while it's nice for some separation, it has some issues with maybe body in the vocal region here. So this is not the fullest body, most lush type of vocal that you can listen to. So if you're into that kind of presentation, or other maybe dynamic drivers will have better body in the vocal region, and also maybe better positioning as well in the vocal region. So a different type of tuning here overall. So going to the highs, so the top end here is maybe the biggest change in any KZ that I have seen so far. So this is one of the smoothest top end KZs that I've listened to so far. So it's still your musical lively top end in the mix. Still nicely extended on top. You're still getting that 12K. But as you guys can see in the signature, the 12K is more toned down in the mix. And also maybe you're getting that smoother 3 to 8K in the mix. So this kind of top end is something that I can see in more expensive pairs. So actually for me, in the top end, in the cymbals, this is one of the best bodied cymbals for a KZ or CCA that I have heard so far. So the body and the cymbals here quite good in the mix, and also the presentation as well is quite musical, revealing in the mix as well. So again, monitor type of presentation. Also that extension on top for some guitar tracks or some jazz tracks. So yeah, for me, you're still getting that KZ type of signature, but now a bit more toned down in the mix, and that's definitely nice. So this is less fatiguing compared to maybe your other monitor type of KZs. However, some cons here, while this is better bodied cymbals compared to your other KZs, this is still not the best bodied cymbals that I've heard in this price range. So some other maybe dynamic driver counterparts will still have better body in the cymbals compared to this one. So differences in tuning here, and also driver configuration makes the highs here still not have good body on top. So going to detail retrieval, this is above average for me. Still won't beat out your multi-driver counterparts, but it still has a bit more micro detail compared to your maybe other dynamic drivers. Soundstage, quite big here, so nicely done on that. Going to separation, very good here because of that clean presentation, tight bass in the mix. No mid-bass bleed, the separation is quite good here in the mix. Again, maybe reminds me of a tin audio kind of presentation to the mix, and that's definitely really interesting. So next, let's go to the signature here. So as you guys can see from the signature, when I first saw this and also measured it, this reminds me a lot of the VK4. The VK4 may be a bit more 12K on top, and that's definitely interesting because the VK4 is one of my favorites here in this channel. So as you guys can see, you're getting that maybe smooth top from around 3 to 8K in the mix. And you're also getting that 12K extension on top here. You're getting a bit of peak on top there with the 12K. Also that bass region as well, you're getting a fairly smooth graph there at the bottom. So fairly balanced as well in the overall presentation. And looking at the sub bass, you're getting a bit more elevation there in the sub bass region. So very much close to the VK4 in this regard, but you know, you're getting a different top end here. So compared to the VK4, this will have a bit more shine in the mix, a bit more shimmer on top. So definitely you're still getting that 12K you know, KZ here, but now a bit more toned down, maybe closer to your VK4 in the overall tuning. That's definitely welcome for me. So this is one of the main reasons why this is my favorite KZ now, because I do like the VK4 in this regard. And going closer to that and having maybe a bit better micro detail compared to the VK4, a bit more top end as well, especially for some guitar tracks which I usually listen to. That's definitely welcome for me. So compare it to the DQ6. So this is your usual KZ tuning. So as you guys can see in the DQ6, you're getting a bit more mid bass there at the middle, and also you're getting that mids elevation, maybe that peak, small peak at around 2K in the mix. And you're getting that massive peaks on top, your 6K peak, and also your 11K peak on top, and you're even getting a small peak there at around maybe 16K region. So this is your usual KZ tuning. This type of tuning also appears in the CCA CSNs and also the some KZ ZSTXs as well. But definitely this explains that your ZEX Pro is a bit more toned down, a bit more relaxed compared to what you are getting with the DQ6. Your DQ6 will still have a bit more impactfulness, with more liveliness in the overall sound. So CRNs versus the DQ6, which one do I like more? So I do like the CRN or ZX Pro in this regard. Smoother top end for me, and also better body in the cymbals for me in the overall listen, and also less fatiguing of a listen to the ear as well. So overall, I do like the CRNs in this regard. So going towards the ZEX, the original version, and as you guys can see, they're completely different tuning here. So actually, it's quite warranted that they should just change the name of the ZX Pro to another. The CRNs would be nice because they're completely different here. This doesn't look like the Pro version of the ZEX. So looking at the bottom end, you're getting a bit more mid bass in the ZEX here. You're getting more elevation at around 200 Hz and also 400 Hz region. And you're also getting that small hump as well with the 1 to 2K region in the mids region. And also on top as well, you're getting the triple horns on top. And you're not getting that with the ZEX Pro. So completely different tuning here overall. This compared to the ZEX, the old version. So I do like the ZEX Pro in this regard. So I didn't like particularly the vocal region in the ZX. So it's a bit too dark for me of a listen. So now it's definitely better. In the CRNs have more revealing vocals, have a brighter vocal in the mix, better vocal clarity in the mixer. So yeah, for me, ZEX Pro over the ZEX. So comparing this to the CCA NRA. So actually the NRA, I do like the overall listen there over the ZEX. But yes, in this comparison, again, they're completely different tuning here. So looking at the graph, your CCA NRA actually has maybe a bit more recessed sub bass in the mix, a bit more elevated mid bass. But looking at the mids and the NRAs, the mids is a bit more elevated in the mix, maybe more flat in the mix. So you know, from the bass to the mids region, the NRAs maybe reminds me of other types of IMs as well, not your usual CCAs. And looking at the top end, you're still getting that triple horns on top with the NRAs. So you're getting that 9K elevation, 12K elevation as well, and also you're getting that 5K elevation. Actually, for me, yes, I did like the NRAs over the old ZEX, but now comparing it to what you are getting with the CRNs, so I do like the CRNs in this regard. So I do like that you have a smoother top end here, and also maybe better body in the cymbals as well. And actually in the bass region, it's gonna be more balanced to the ear compared to the NRAs, that is gonna be more bright focused, more clarity focused. So here, I do like the ZEX Pro over your NRAs. Last but not the least, let's compare it to the ZSN Pro X's. So as you guys can see in the ZSN Pro X's, you're definitely getting a lot, more treble on top here. You're getting a lot more 12K in the mix, a lot more 5K as well. And as you guys can see, the peaks there is definitely more of a shark-like peak. It's definitely thin peaks here on top. So we're getting maybe more shimmer in the ZSN Pro X's in this regard, and as you guys can see in the bass region as well, you're getting a bit more mid-bass elevation in the ZSN Pro X's, but your sub-bass is more recessed in the mix, and as you guys can see in the mids as well, you're getting more recessed mid-bass. So definitely a lot different tuning here. your ZSN Pro X is gonna have more shimmer on top, more shine on top, and it's going to be really, clarity focused, treble focused here. And compared to your CRNs, it's gonna be more balanced to the ear and smoother top end here as well. So both of them have, that 12K, 11K in the mix. So your CRNs will be more controlled in the mix, smoother top end as well. And actually for me, maybe better body in the cymbals as well. So here in this comparison, so I do like the CRNs over the ZSN Pro X's due to the more controlled sound in the mix. Still nice tuning here, but you're still getting that musicality of a KZ that you are looking for. All right, let's try to close this thing. So for the CRNs or the ZEX Pro, do I like it or not? Yes, I really like the overall listen here. This is the best KZ that I've listened to so far in the $30 range. You're still getting that KZ qualities that you're looking for in other IEMs, but now a bit more toned down in the mix, a bit more balanced to the ear, and also smoother top end as well. So this is the first time that I've seen something like this for a KZ, and also this tuning as well, first time that I've seen in this price range as well. So for the $30 price range that this is asking for, there's a lot of things going for it. And for this price range, definitely the best KZ that you can buy, especially for a hybrid. So this is sort of like an IM that's made for me, and definitely worth the buy, and I highly recommend it. All right, so that's my take with the ZEX Pro or CRNs. Of course, if you learned something, leave a like and subscribe for more content like this in the future. So actually, this types of IMs is why I love reviewing gadgets, because it's a really surprising IM for me coming from KZ. You'll never know what will happen in the community, and this kind of surprises is definitely welcome for me, because these kinds of IMs will push the boundaries for future IEMs. So I'm seeing that maybe in 2022, cheaper IMs is gonna get better and better and better tuning. That's really exciting for the whole community. So big props to Chronicle for this type of tuning, and for introducing this kind of sound in the $30 range. So all right, that's it for me, and thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next ZPult review. Bye.